like a lot of the college content I consume on social media kind of fed a lot of delusions into my head. I left another part of my heart behind, and then I would have to get back on the bus to go to Syracuse. I feel like it created like this weird stigma in my head about transferring. Hello y'all, I hope you're doing good. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be giving y'all some lore updates, particularly pertaining to college, because there are some new things I gotta tell y'all. And I also just wanted to properly explain why I've been off of YouTube for like over 4 months. I recently posted a Paris vlog, but I probably should have posted this video first, just so that y'all are caught up to date. I got a little too excited to post a Paris vlog. But in today's video, I'm gonna give y'all all the details on my freshman year experience at college and updates for my sophomore year. I'm also gonna be getting ready as I talk to y'all, because honestly, I grew up on those like chit chat get ready with me videos, and it just gives me so much nostalgia and reminds me of old YouTube. So I thought this would be a fun little video to make, even though I guess the topic that I'm talking about isn't like super fun. But anyways, let's get on to the actual plot. Alright y'all, so I probably should have wrote an actual script for this video, because there are definitely some key lore points I want to cover, but you know, I am just gonna start yapping. Also, this isn't really a makeup tutorial, it's just me putting on makeup and talking at the same time. I'm also gonna be trying out some new makeup products I got, because I love buying makeup. I'll link all the stuff I use in the description, and if you guys do want an actual tutorial for this look, let me know in the comments. Basically, a rundown of my freshman year at college is that it low-key was not what I thought it was gonna be. I feel like a lot of the college content I consume on social media kind of fed a lot of delusions into my head about what my college experience was gonna be like. Talking about my mental health, like, I'm fine with journaling about it, but actually saying it out loud, I'm like, oh. I feel like for this past year of college, well, I guess it's my only year of college that I've done so far, but I was just overall deeply unhappy and depressed. And I think that's mostly because I saw a lot of flaws within myself this year, and being at that specific school made me recognize the inadequate parts of myself, which sounds very dramatic, but I will explain. For some context, I've always wanted to go to school in a bigger city, and when I did end up committing to a college during senior year, I chose a school that was not in the city, mostly because it gave me the most amount of money. I remember in high school, I really wanted to go to a college in a large city, because I was from like a really boring suburb. But originally, I'm from China, and I used to live in Shenzhen, and it's basically a very large coastal city in China that's near Hong Kong. I just miss the city life, you know? But I'm very grateful for all the people that I met this year. I've definitely made a lot of new, really great friends, and I love them all very dearly. But there was also this point that I recognized that even if I did have all these great relationships, Syracuse still wasn't the place for me, because it just was not what I was looking for. But I guess even just at the beginning of the school year, when I first started, I never truly felt connected to Syracuse. And another thing that I didn't love about Syracuse, unfortunately, was the location. I always like envisioned myself being in a city and just living in a city. Even though Syracuse does have a relatively large population, it's not really a city. It's like basically a suburb with a lot of highways, and it's not very walkable. You have to get a car to go anywhere, and there also just was not that much to do around the Syracuse area. And campus itself is very large and it's quite pretty, but there's only so many things that you can do on campus. I do this thing where I just like deny my feelings until I can't take it any longer, and then I explode. All my pent up emotions from first semester definitely started to affect me a lot during second semester. I felt like each time I went to New York City, I left another part of my heart behind, and then I would have to get back on the bus to go to Syracuse, and the bus would break down. I would like sit on the broken down bus and just start overthinking, and then I get really sad when I finally return to Syracuse. I feel like during first semester, I already started thinking about transferring. Right towards the end of winter break, the week before my school started, I went to New York City for 5 days. I just went by myself, and I know that 5 days definitely is not enough time to fully explore all of New York City, but I just wanted to see if I would be able to handle myself okay in a large city alone. I think that was the first time that I felt independent and in control of my life. I feel like I created like this weird stigma in my head about transferring because I was like, oh, I should just stick to this place because I'm already here. Why do I have to transfer and like restart the entire application process again when I'm already at somewhere? At the same time, I learned to recognize when something isn't right for me because I feel like for so long I've always had this thing where I just try to put up with stuff even if it's bad because I don't want to like inconvenience other people. Maybe I should start thinking about myself. Right around the time that I got back to Syracuse from winter break, I started researching what schools I wanted to transfer to. Originally, I was gonna apply to schools in both Boston and New York City, but I just ended up applying to schools in New York City. For all the schools I applied to, I applied as some type of art major. Like, I either applied as communications design or like a different type of design. A very large dilemma that I had during first semester was my major. I was like, oh my goodness, I actually hate this major. My major at my previous school was information management technology. Like, I know why I chose it, but the more that I learned about what classes I had to take and just like the material in each class, I became more off-put by it. Because although I do really value technology and I still think it's a field I want to explore, I don't solely want to focus on tech. So my original plan when I first got to Syracuse was that I was gonna do that major but do web design focus and maybe minor in design just so that I can still have design skills and learn more about design because it's a field that interests me. But there was like absolutely zero design. I honestly did not connect with it academically. When I was signing up for classes for second semester, I had the sneaking suspicion that I would probably become really sad because I get seasonal depression. I heard that winters in Syracuse were pretty bad and they are god awful. But one of the classes I wanted to try taking was an art class, and I like basically begged the art department people to let me take an art class. Originally that class was full, but then someone dropped it, so I got in. I'm really grateful that I was able to take that illustration class because it actually ended up being one of my favorite classes. The illustration class I took definitely humbled me, but in a good way, because it made me realize my shortcomings as an artist, because I feel like I definitely don't put as much time into art as I used to. But I feel like once I enter like the more, I guess, serious stages of my academics, I told myself to push it aside. It's very sad, but I'm coming back. Honestly, that class was the only class I looked forward to. For a little while, I was really considering just switching my major and staying at my current school. I was thinking about switching to illustration because I realized that like I still really love drawing. I had a meeting with like someone within the department and they were like, oh, if you do illustration, you have to stay here another 4 years because none of the classes I took that year would have counted except for like the illustration one because the program is just like very strict and time focused, and there was no way that I could take summer classes or make up any of the credits at a different institution. Then I thought, what if I switched to the communication school there, because I know they have a visual communications program, and then maybe I could minor in design still. I had a meeting with the communication school advisor, and for a short time I thought I was like maybe gonna stay. At the same time, I was still applying to different schools in New York City. For a little while, I was definitely kind of iffy on transferring or staying. The main reason why I contemplated staying was because of my friends there. I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to see them anymore, and I'm not gonna be able to make new friends. I get so in my head about meeting new people, but meeting new people in college is so easy. Like, if you're worried about making friends in college, you'll be fine. Just join a couple clubs, leave your dorm room, and you'll be good. Even though I really cherished my friends and the connections I made at Syracuse, ultimately the place itself made me so horribly depressed. I think I spent most of the day doom scrolling when I wasn't in class. I don't know, I would just like be doing my daily activities, try to go to the gym, and I'd be like, wow, I wish I wasn't here right now. And ultimately I did decide to transfer. I'm going to Fordham, Lincoln Center, and I'm very excited because the location is in Manhattan, and I actually did visit the school when I went to New York City for spring break, and I feel like my spring break visit really solidified my need to leave Syracuse. I saw how happy I could be versus my current college experience at Syracuse, and I felt just really guilty that I wasn't enjoying college as much as I should have been, and I also felt really guilty that I wasn't posting anything, especially on YouTube. Sorry y'all for the angle change, my camera just died. My major at my new school is called New Media and Digital Design. Also, I just like the way that the curriculum is structured at Fordham because it's more of a liberal arts school. I'm able to have more options to explore different fields. I was looking through the course catalog and already marked off some classes that I'm interested in taking for like next year after I finish some of my core requirements. Fordham Lincoln Center is also a much smaller school compared to Syracuse, which I am very grateful for. I think at Syracuse I realized I didn't really want the large traditional college experience, and it's also a party school, which I don't know why I had this like delusional idea in my head that I was gonna party like crazy in college. I don't like parties. I don't want to say I regret going to Syracuse because from like a practical standpoint it was a smart decision, and I also met a lot of lovely people, but my mental health deteriorated so much there, and I really just went back to my old terrible habits that were self-destructive and not that great. But I'm better now, and I'm excited for this new chapter of my life. If you guys are also thinking about transferring, don't feel scared, because the transfer process, it's not that bad. Like, yes, you do have to write essays again, but honestly, sometimes you can just reuse your old essays. Transferring is very valid, and if a place isn't somewhere that you connect with, and if it doesn't make you happy, like, you shouldn't force yourself to stay there. But I know that's like a very privileged take because not everyone is able to choose when they can leave. I'm very grateful that I am able to go to college and that I'm able to switch out of the college that I didn't feel the best at. To anyone else who's currently struggling at their current school, your feelings are totally valid, and whether you choose to stay or whether you choose to transfer, that decision is entirely up to you, because at the end of the day, it's your life to live and you deserve to prioritize yourself. But if any of y'all have transferred before, I'd love to hear your experiences. If you have any tips on how to get adjusted to your new school after you transfer, I would really appreciate it. I would just love to hear about y'all's experiences because I really like reading your comments. Also, with transferring, I was worried that the people in my life wouldn't be supportive, but at the same time, I realized I spent too much of my life just worrying about what other people think. It's honestly okay to worry about what I think for once, you know? You deserve to live your most happy and fulfilled life, and sometimes that is going to require sacrifice, and sometimes there are people in your life that's not going to support you. I think what matters most is that you support yourself, as it's your life to live, and don't let other people always dictate your every move. This is the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and if you've had any similar experiences in college, you are totally valid. If you need somewhere to share those experiences, feel free to comment them below, but I know like topics like these can be hard to discuss. Any feelings you have are valid. Also, you're not alone in feeling this way, but I genuinely am so excited about like moving to New York City and just going to school in New York City because it's always been my dream. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Hopefully, it'll be not like in 4 months. Bye-bye.